what's your name again?
My name's Rob McNeil.
Okay, and it's MAC or MC, Rob?
MC. NEIL.
All right, and your position here today?
So I'm here with London, Ontario Animal Safe, and we're here to bear witness to the chickens going into slaughter at Cargill.
All right. Obviously, this is a concern that hasn't changed for you, but what has changed is the way that things are controlled in terms of the entry of the chickens. From the perspective of your group, what's changed?
So absolutely, we've been bearing witness peacefully here for years, but Ontario government has brought out Bill 156, which limits our ability to bear witness. And specifically, yesterday, Minister Hardeman proclaimed the part that stops us stopping trucks and introduces huge fines and penalties for just peacefully bearing witness to these baby animals going into slaughter.
Forgive me, my tripod's acting out one second. Okay, so from your group's perspective, I mean, you've been peacefully bearing witness, as you say. Was anything changed for what you did? I mean, we saw you stop on the street today. What changes from what you did?
So nothing changes today, but effective midnight tonight, the new regulations come in that will make it a potential $15,000 fine for stopping trucks and attempting to bear witness. And it also, the new act limits liability of truckers that injure protesters.
Right, of course.
That's kind of scary and ridiculous.
Yes, so we're familiar with both sides of it. But so come tomorrow, what would you do differently as a group, would you?
Come tomorrow, it's a new playing field. We still will be seeking to bear witness to trucks. We'll have to come up with some new strategies and plans. But our desire to bring attention to this industry and the horrors that it brings to the animals, the human health, and the environment doesn't change.
So would we see you here tomorrow stopping a truck? Would you take that risk as a group?
I have a job, so I probably won't be here tomorrow, but we'll certainly be back out here at Cargill in different capacities, and we'll see what happens. We look forward to seeing whether the court system really wants to get plugged up with these kind of charges. The police have never shown a willingness to prosecute even existing traffic offences for stopping trucks, which is already, technically illegal. They've never prosecuted for that in London, and we hope that with the London police presence and our continued love-based nature that wouldn't change.
You're typically here when you're here?
They're typically here when we're here. Cargill called them this morning, and we hope that Cargill's footing your bill. We'd certainly love to see the funds that go into providing police protection against us, so we don't touch the trucks or do anything, go into mental health support, for example, for the slaughterhouse workers that are here. We know there's studies that strongly tie working in slaughterhouses to mental health issues. So to be having police here to make sure that we don't hurt their product is kind of lovely.
Are they here when you get here, or they call them up on your
It depends. If we set up an event, they're typically here. Today they were here before 8 o'clock, which is when our event officially started. A few of us came out earlier than that.
The second part of what's changed in terms of the safety aspect of drivers with regard to the government's perspective, your take on that?
Our take is that this is just poorly conceived legislation. Like literally 2 days after the bill was passed protecting truckers against injury to protesters, my friend Regan Russell was run down by a slaughterhouse truck at Fuhrman's in Burlington. She was a love-based person, and we feel that emboldened the truckers. We saw an immediate change in their attitudes, that they don't feel they need to stop anymore. That's a big change, an unnecessary change.
So, as you say, there'll be new ways to do it, but not sure or not willing to tell us what that is at this point.
I mean, the strategies are always evolving from both sides. We see the truckers changing their strategies, and we have our own strategies, which ultimately is to bring attention to animal agriculture industry. Stopping trucks is one thing that they've focused on. Also, trespass on farms. We'll adapt our strategies accordingly. We don't have any hate in our heart for truckers. We literally have a sign that says no hate for truckers. We know that they're just doing a job. We know the slaughterhouse workers are just doing a job. We know that this is all part of the big machine that wants to make money.
When I talked to, you probably saw me talk to the worker over there, he said, I don't have a problem with them as long as they're doing their thing, we're doing our thing.
We'd like to think that. Now, the law does allow for permission to be given for us to stop trucks. So I imagine we'll be asking for permission from Cargill, who've always been respectful and had security come out to protect them, but also to to make sure that things go safely. We just want to be a witness. We just want people to see what's going into their McNuggets. And London's rapidly becoming a slaughterhouse town. This plant is 100,000 a day. The new Maple Leaf plant at the bottom end of town is going to be 500,000 a day. And it's going to have huge implications for the community. The new plant takes 8 million litres of water a day. It's crazy, and we'll keep bringing attention to it.
Nothing to stop you from being right where you are tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm sorry I forget your name.
My name's Sean.